Hey guys, this is going to be the answers to your quiz that we just gave back. Going to go through a couple of the problems. I don't have to go through all the geometric mean problems, but I will go through one. This was letter F. Geometric between x and 81 is 9. So 9 is the geometric mean. So that's why we know that 9 gets written twice. And then between the two numbers, x and 81. So you cross multiply, you get 81x equals 81. And that's how you know x equals 1. For letter A, it says solve for x, y, and z in the following problem. So in this case, there's just an x and a y. So this whole thing is a right triangle. Here's my altitude. So x is the geometric mean between the two segments. So that's this right here. X is the geometric mean. Now, once you get x equals 6, there's a lot of different ways that you could find y. One way is once you know x, you have two of the three parts of a right triangle. You can just use the Pythagorean theorem. Another way is y is the actual leg of the right triangle. So y is the geometric mean of this part of the segment and the whole thing, which is 15. So you could solve it that way too. And here's the work for that. Letter B, you have a right triangle with an altitude. So this is the leg of the right triangle, x plus 3. So that is the geometric mean of this part and the whole thing. So x plus 3 is the geometric mean. So I'm going to write that twice. And then of x and the whole thing, which is 7 plus x, or x plus 7. And then right here is your work of how you cross multiplied. You could pause the video and look at that. And then what's going to end up happening is you're going to get an equation where when you get x squared on both sides, they're going to cancel out. And when you solve this down, you're going to be left with 9 equals x. And again, please, if I'm going too quick, pause the video, and you could obviously look at the work shown. In this problem, let me bring this down a little bit. You have a right triangle, and you have an altitude. So I'm going to go ahead and highlight the big right triangle right there that has an altitude. So here, I need to understand that to get either y or z, I need to be able to use the fact that the whole thing, if I do the Pythagorean theorem, the whole thing is going to equal 10. That way, I can know that 6, this right here, is a leg of the right triangle. So 6 is the geometric mean, just like the problem we did before, of y, the segment it's touching, and the whole thing, which is we've found to be 10 using the Pythagorean theorem. So solving it down, you get y equals 3.6, about 3.6. And then I'm going to use that 3.6 along with, where'd it go? To find out x, I need to actually know both y and z. So first we have to find z first. So to find z, what I did was 8 is the geometric mean. That's this leg of the z and the whole thing, which is 10. So 8 was the geometric mean. So this way we can find out what z is. Once we find out what z and y are, x is just going to be the geometric mean because it's the altitude between both of them. This problem, it gave us the amount of wrapping paper. So this right here is the surface area formula. Now, in order to use, we now know the volume is 625. I can't use the surface area formula. So I have to go from the surface area formula and square root each side. That way I know that the sides are in a 5:6 ratio. But the volume ratio, you need to take the sides and cube them. So this would be the official ratio of the volumes. This is what I'm going to use in my proportion along with one of my volumes. So I have the ratio of the volumes right here to one of the volumes, and then I could solve for the other volume. And when you cross multiply, you end up getting 1,080 inches cubed because it's volume. Next one, here are the heights. So this is like the scale factor. I'm sorry, the dilation, or the scale factor. So if I know that something holds 64.8 ounces of smoothies, that is the volume. So I need to take my ratio of the heights and cube them, so then I can have my ratio of my volume. And that ratio of the volume I'm going to use with the two volumes and solve 24x. Here are the last problems. This one, you're going to use the 6 corresponds with the 14, and the x corresponds with the 24. So you're going to set up that proportion that way, because they are similar triangles, because they have angle-angle similarity. Here, in order to get y or x, I'm going to use, you can either use the side-splitting theorem, but here, if you use the side-splitting theorem, you have 2 variables. So first, I'm going to go ahead and use the fact that we have similar triangles. So I have 24 and 20 as my basis. And then the 2 sides would be y, and then the whole side is y plus 16. And that will help me solve for y. And once you get y, which equals 80, now I can use the side-splitting theorem, or you can use similar triangles. So I said x over 80, which is the top left to, top right to top left, to the bottom right to the bottom left. So that is that's using the side-splitting theorem there. Letter C, we have similar triangles, so that would mean that their medians are in proportion to their sides. So I'm going to use the 9 and the 40, or the 40 over 9, along with the 50, which is the median, is going to be in the same ratio as the sides to the y. And the last one here, all you know is you have an angle bisector. So the rule with all triangles and angle bisectors is the way that the angle bisector separates the base is going to be in the same ratio as the other sides. So 6 to 12, or in this case I said 9 to 6, is going to be in the same ratio as x to 12. Or you could just notice that it doubles here, so it will double here. So 9 doubled is the 18th.